just get your mind together and come on across to me. We'll hold hands and we'll watch the sun rise from the bottom of the sea. But first, are you experienced?
What's the odds of that? A boat called Wisdom, after the video that I just made. And he comes in his back to me like this so I can see it. I like that, he's flying the Welsh flag, which is you're not supposed to do. Put his anchor in there. Well, we tried, but there's no wind out here, so we're heading back in. You can hear we've got it on the auto helm, or tiller pilot, whatever you call it, and it seems to be steering a course alright. And I'll show you where we're going. Going back in there. There's the other little boat that was over there. Well, big boat, quite a big boat. We came around the back of him. We'll probably have to go around the front of him this time. You can see we're doing what we're doing in the way of knots. Better. 1.3, 1.5 knots. We're just heading back in there. Okay. Well, as you can see, Wisdom seems to be to stay on the anchor. Wisdom stay on the anchor, and that's what I should have done. But nothing's wasted. So very good practice. I had good practice of getting the anchor up and getting around this boat here, and also using the tiller pilot. And we gave the electric engine a good workout all the way there and all the way back, and it's still showing good voltage in the battery. So it gives us a chance to assess now how long the battery takes to recover from that. You can tell that just by looking at the charging situation. Once it goes on to float charge, then you know the battery's full. But otherwise you can't really tell, because it's just pumping in the amp hours, you know, keep on doing that until it's filled up. Looks like we're here. But there's a breeze down there, there's a bit of a breeze here, but there's nothing out there. It must be just some kind of obscure thing that's going on here. I had this before. Just go running around here. No wind at all. You just have to wait for the wind to come and carry on eating the rest of what we've got to eat, and hope that nature provides something somewhere along the way. Okay. Well, we're out here in the middle off that Skomer Island over there, and the tide's going out and we're being carried by the tide. Very little wind. You can see on here. We're heading straight out really. So the further we get away from Skomer Island the better. And you can see the current's just carrying us, the wind's doing nothing really. And so we just have to trust really, because if we end up on this side of the island with the southerly blowing up, it's no good at all. And so what we need is to be either on the other side of the island or heading home on the southerly, depending on where we end up. And so what happened was I started off yesterday. The kerosene engine died on me after it had been running for quite a while, and it seemed like it was fuel or something. So today I started up, we ran out again, we came all the way out here on the kerosene engine, and it suddenly started to splutter and die, and I think it's just like a fuel delivery thing. It must have some kind of airlock, or it's shut, because we're in such terrible up and down, you know, it probably dislodged some stuff in the fuel tank or something, I don't know. But we obviously have a fuel delivery issue. And you can see we've got a little bit of wind, not much really, not enough to fight any currents, but we're going with the current now, and hopefully we'll just take us right out and away from the dangerous land, which is probably one of the most dangerous places you can be parked up around here. Thank you, Stephen, for telling me about this. Okay. Well, the tiller pilot is doing its job, and these are the places you don't want to be. You don't want to be over there, and you don't want to be over there. I don't know if you can see that. That's St. David's Head and that's St. Bride's Bay. Yeah, you don't want to be any of those places. And then you don't want to be over there. You don't want to be over there. And nowhere between here and there do you want to be. And you don't want to be anywhere over there either. Yeah. There, the other island there. So you don't want to be any of these places. Right? The only place you want to be is where we are now. And fortunately we're doing 2.3 knots, and we seem to be holding a good enough course at the moment. We just have to get far enough out to sea, and then we can just like play with the current and the wind and just like hope that we can stay where we want to be, away from these things. Doesn't matter where we are, as long as we're not running into these things. Yeah, you can see that area we don't want to be in. We're just sort of between it and St. David's Head there, and there's current where we are. It's a warning on the chart, says 4 knots current, so you know we're like really dodgy situation here. There's no wind, and we're in the current. The current is what's taking us really. We'll have to wait and see what happens. The forecast is for southerlies, so you know, as long as we can stay out here long enough until the wind comes up. Here you can see the whole bay now. Right the way around there, that's Bride's Bay. All the way around there. And we seem to be beating the current by just like a trickle. We're doing about 3 knots, 2.9, 3 knots, and you can still see the current is going, you know, we're faster than the current, but not by much, So all of this sailing is actually all just on the current and a little bit of wind. Hopefully we can carry on doing that, even if the current goes the other way. We can work our way out. You can see by how much we're beating the current. Not an awful lot. We're fishing. Yes. We haven't got any food left. We've got 1 rasher of bacon, 1 egg, and maybe 2 bowls of porridge. That's what we've got left, and not much water either, except drinking water, of course. It would be absolutely painful to steer in this, so little wind. So this thing is doing an amazing job. Just keep us on course. It's great. Thank you, Stephen. Well, we're finally leaving Skomer Island behind. There it is over there. There's its mate. It looks a long way away, but it's not really. We could quite easily go back in there if the current dragged us. But what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to tack across the current a little bit. Use the wind to influence our direction across the current. That's the plan. We'll report back if it works. It's hard to get used to the fact that we could actually just be inside here now with the auto helm. And yeah, it just feels strange to be able to do that. And you can sit on our helm seat if we like and make a cuppa or something. We haven't had any food today, and you can see it's 1:30. I'm not feeling hungry because we don't have much food. So that's a good sign that we're on the right track. If we don't feel hungry, that's good. Because in my experiences, when you run out of food, you don't feel hungry, you just stop eating. It just doesn't matter. People used to do it every year, one time. You know, every year when they ran out of food. Ah, dear. Well, all we could do is drift around here. We're still doing 2.7 knots. It's hard to imagine that it can sail with so little wind. It's a really good boat for that. It's very difficult to be on the helm in this kind of conditions. But it's flat. It's like a pancake out there, look. Just absolutely calm as, but we've still got just enough wind. Pushes along. It's remarkable, really. We even had a bit of cell phone coverage out here, so we've been able to use the internet. In fact, I need to check Windy and see if we've still got the wind coming up, and what time it comes up. See that green stuff, now the wind's picking up. 2 o'clock, 4, 5, goes really strong, 25 knots. So, you know, that's the forecast. Just got to stay in long enough to catch it. That's our wake. So we're doing something, and it's supposed to get up to 8 or 9 knots in just an hour and a half's time, so I don't know how accurate Windy is, but sometimes it's really accurate, yeah. Sometimes it's just spot on as it gets closer to time. See our wake? Beautiful. At the moment it's just a solar panel driving that. I doubt if it's using any battery. When night time comes, of course, it's going to be running on battery. We might not need it by then if we get some wind. We're letting it go up here because if the current goes the other way, it's going to take us down here, and so I'm just airing on that side of the equation at the moment. And it's really slack tide right now. You can see the current there, direction of the current here. So slackening off, and it'll be going the other way, not too far away. You can see our speed in relation to that bird on the water there. See with the island in the background how we're moving. It looks like there's wind coming. Just starting to feel a little bit of a breeze, not much. Still coming. And the tide is turning now. So we're going to have 2 knots coming straight at us soon. Well, soon, within the next few hours. We need some wind. See, it's coming. It's trying to come. The wind's just fresh a little bit. It's just holding us at about 1.92 knots. So that's good. Well, we're just making a cup of hot chocolate here, and we turned the autopilot off because it's just moving back and forth, or the tiller back and forth a little bit, so I've just let it locked in place in standby and see how we get on with that. Don't feel hungry at the moment. Don't actually feel like this, but I think it'll be good to have. Just hot chocolate and nothing else. Water, just as good. You can see me from there. We've got to try this. As long as it doesn't end up going overboard. Can you see my head? I hope so. So the wind has just picked up a touch. As it said it was going to do, it just picked up a touch. So we're holding about 1.3 knots against the current. And so that's good. We're just quietly getting out of here. I wouldn't say we're completely in the clear yet. We've got the Bishop's Lighthouse on our port side here, starboard side. So we're sailing as close to the wind as we really can, and you can't really sail any further away from it. If the current tries to pull us in there, which it looks like it's doing a bit, then we get too close, then we'll just have to tack away and head that way. But I'm hoping we can just go straight through. It's just beautiful sailing. There's hardly any swell because it's been calm for a few days. And the wind that's coming, as I can hear right here, the wind that's coming is going to mess the sea up. But if we get in there at the beginning of it, it should be really nice and calm and strong sailing. It'll be the best sailing you can get. So this is very pleasant boat, 1.1 knots. It really feels like we're cruising along nice and steady. And I suppose most people put their own engine on, but I can't afford to do that. And well, my engine isn't working too good at the moment, so it needs a service. It's time to go home, take the motor home, and give it another service. Replace all its pipes, because I think one of the pipes is quite restricted. It's very thin, and I think what's happened is the pipe has actually shrunk with the age, 60 years old really. So what I'm hoping is that, well, something may have been blocking that now, so there's a bit of stuff might have got in there, because it's just a pipe. Well, I did put a filter in, you never know. Maybe the filter's blocked, but we just need to service it, take it all apart again, clean it. Oh, and also check the spark plug, because it might just be a foul spark plug. That might be all it is. I did actually mess with the mixture a bit, so it was all right before I did that. I might have to do a better job on this motor. But I was kind of going off this sailing line, being stuck in Dale there, but this is nice now. I really like this. So I have to get home and get the boat out of the water again. And just like that's enough for the year. And then think about it, ripen it, take what I've learned, and you know there's always another season. I can hear my ear. Yep, well, we seem to be going okay. Let's say the bishop's a bit close. We are heading in that direction. Looks like we're going to miss it by about a mile. Looks okay. And I say the current is coming now. It's half strength current coming. Or in the direction that we want to go really. Against us, against the direction, from the direction we want to go. Completely, but maybe not head on yet, I don't think. It's hard to tell. I think we're almost in the clear. I think if we can do another few miles, we can actually say we're in the clear. And you know, as long as this wind doesn't drop off to nothing. It's not forecast to do that, so let's keep our fingers crossed. If the wind drops down to nothing, we're probably in not a good situation here, because the current can take us. We'd have to ride the current for 6 hours in one direction, and it turns around and goes the other way. We're not going to have to do that, I'm sure. I'm a good fellow. I deserve some good fortune. And I feel this is beautiful sailing. If you could just forget about the possible dangers, you really enjoy this. The only trouble is, well, it's not trouble, but when you get into trouble, like we did going out and into the very, very terrible seas when we went out at the wrong time, that was really necessary to do that, because we learned such a lot in that process of understanding how we can go from this to something really terrible just in a matter of change of the tide. So that's what we're frightened of. We're frightened of being too close to these places where the tide gets terrible at certain states of it. There's many places around there. It's probably as bad a place as you can get for this. But we are are heading out, and we're clear of Skomer Island, we're clear of South Bishop. We've got the small, clear of the small grass home at the moment. We're right in the middle of it all. As I say, if we lost the wind, we could be pushed into grass home or the small, or Skomer, back to Skomer. So, you know, it does say on the chart 4 knots of current, so you're right to be back where we started from. It's not going to happen. Okay, I hope this gives you all a sort of a glimpse into, I know all you professionals, sailors and that, you know all this stuff, but for those who are watching this channel and thinking about doing it themselves and buying an old boat, have already got a boat and they haven't done a lot with it, they're sort of thinking about going to the next step or something, I hope this gives them something to think about what you have to watch out for. Only nature can teach you, you know, you've got to make mistakes. If you're following nature, nature will take you out and make a small mistake and fix it for you. You say, right, now ripen that. And next time you're going through it, you know, you're much better prepared. And when it takes you out at the right time, now you know that there's right times and wrong times. So, okay, let's go out at the right time. Watch what happens. And watch how the current helps us. And if you just pick the right time, the current will help you. If you're too soon, it's going to give you a beating. It's going to smash your boat to little splinters. Don't watch out. So, it's a lovely day. Just going to enjoy my cup of hot chocolate and enjoy the sailing.